What is going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. So, we are just going to cover, now that the dust has settled from Warframe 1999, we're going to go over everything that has happened since that drop point. Now, I got a whole ass fucking list here, so if you see me looking over this way, I am just literally looking over this fucking list. So, we're going to go from quest release, some of the better shit that's been going on, a couple of little hinky things. And obviously we still have the whole, Technosite Coda release and all of that, and kind of discuss what the hell's going on with some of that shit. Not much gameplay in here, if any, but we're going to cover a lot of shit. So if you're not down for a longer video, it's okay. I get it. So, obviously, the Warframe 1999 quest and finale released. If you have not done the finale, you need to get to rank 3, which means you have to do the whole sim conversational bullshit to get yourself to rank 3. You have to get to rank 3 with the Hex Syndicate. We'll talk about them in a sec. And you have to get buddy, at least I think it's friendly, so friendly standing, or liked, I think is what it is. Like standing with all of the Hex members, and you have to get to rank 3 with the Syndicate. So it's two separate things, so you do have to do the whole sim thing for a little bit, even though they said there wasn't going to be any requirement to that. That's a hinky thing for me, because it's like, you don't do this big ass thing of, hey, this is optional, but by the way, it's really fucking not optional. You have to go through half of the fucking situation just to get to the finale of the quest. I understand the rapport behind it, but still, it's one of those. I just think like ranking up with the Syndicate should be enough, but apparently that's not how they saw it. So it's whatever. It's not a hard thing to do. It's about 3-4 days, no big deal. It's just extra steps that you may not want to have to do. Now, I'm going to go down the fucking list of mods and arcanes that have dropped with this quest. Okay, and some of them are really good. I'm going to let y'all determine what you like, what you don't like. Okay, I'm just going to give it the fucking list. And there's going to be a lot of magnetic, which is a really good fucking thing given one of the new enemy types. So, mods in order, at least as far as, game shows them. You've got a secondary mod, Magnetic Might. 2 aura mods, Worthy Camaraderie, which drops like crazy. I think I have like 37 copies of that motherfucker. Summoner's Wrath, Spectral Serration, which is a rifle mod. Primary Acuity, also a rifle mod. Pistol Acuity, obviously secondary. Merciless Gunfight, secondary. Good one, by the way. Magnetic Capacity, rifle. Magnetic Welt, shotgun. Magnetic Capacity, rifle, Magnetic Rush, melee, Magnetized Cycle, arc gun. That was literally the one I could never get to fucking drop. It irritated the shit out of me. It was the last damn one I got collected. Magnetic Core, arc melee, Magnetic Claws, Beast Claws, Radon Claws, also Beast Claws. That's just fucking mods. And that, I gotta tell you, there's really not any bad ones in there. Like, the 2 auras are kind of a little questionable for mass use, but pretty damn good overall. Like, Summoner's Wrath is pretty solid. Worthy Camaraderie is more specific. Either way. Now, the arcanes, this shit is fucking crazy how good some of these arcanes are. The Arcane Bellicose, Arcane Truculence, Arcane Impetus, Arcane Crepuscular. I fuck that one up all the time. I was literally pronouncing it Crepuscular. As far as I can tell, it's Crepuscular. I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm fucking that one up. Arcane Camisade, Primary Crux, Secondary Innervate, Melee Deity. Now, I can tell you right now, Bellicose is okay. Truculence is okay, or Truculence, whatever it is. Impetus, very good. Crepuscular, very good situationally. Primary Crux, unfucking real how much it makes some primaries much better. Secondary Innervate has literally awoken some very, very weak weapons. And I say that loosely because something like, we'll just say the Kuvan Nukor, for example. Secondary Innervate has changed the name of the game for something like the Kuva Nuke or even the Tenet Cycron. It's really good. It has woken up the Kuva Nuke to where it just rips and tears until the job is done. It's like the Doom guy. Pretty damn solid arcane to throw at a few different fucking secondaries. And then Melee Doty actually has some interesting applications with some potential stat sticking, although stat sticking is about to be dead because when Technoside Coda releases, we're going to be able to mod excuse me, in pretty much any of the frames that required stat sticking. So we're great with that. That is like, depending on how it falls is how I'm going to put that. We're not going to be reliant on basically, relying on the stats of a melee in order to make a pseudo exalted weapon. We're not going to be reliant on stat sticking to make a pseudo exalted weapon function at its highest capacity. We're going to actually be able to mod it completely separately now, is what they're hinting at. So that is the mods and the arcanes. Fucking 6 minutes in, and we're just through that. So, what we do have is a overwhelming map situation, okay? And for that, I am going to go to the game. Maybe. Thank you. So, we have this little Palm 2... how is that thing? Yeah, the Palm 2 PC. So, this is the Holvania map. Okay, so if you want to make the back room your normal, base of operations, you can. It's fine. I mean, like, it's cool. It's like an old shitty loft. I certainly understand the appeal of it because it's much more open than the Orbiter. There is kind of some segregated areas, some display frames and things like that. So it's like, it's a very cool kind of throwback type of base of operations. I'm just honestly so used to the Orbiter. That and Owie is kind of a kinky bitch at times, so I really don't want to listen to her talking about breaking our couch and shit all the time. It's pretty bad as a dating sim, and I can't get away from my date aside from breaking up with her. And nah. I want to see if they change the end of year mechanic or video thing, or if it's just going to be the same old, same old. If it's same old, I'm just going to break it up with her. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Let me get back to this. Oh my god, I'm tabbing through multiple windows like a dumbass. So what we have is basically to enter the mall. This is to go visit the Hex members, because each one of them, just like any of the new syndicates that we ever come across, always have different shit between each other. So like Amir, Side 09 weapons, the AX-52, things like that. Quincy is a lot of visuals, so you get like like the simulacrums, capturas, things like that. Owie is all of the Somacord stuff. Eleanor is all of the arcanes, and then Arthur is your basic bounty, let's go look at our rank shit, and then Letty is the one where you actually go and rank your shit up with. There you go. So we've got standard exterminate. Now the cool thing that I kind of like about these is that with a Tech Rod exterminate, it's pretty much just it's just usually just Tech Rod, maybe a little bit of Scaldra, but almost solely Tech Rod. The Scaldra, which are our two new factions that we have to fight, is the Scaldra and the Tech Rod, which basically the Scaldra is like, Proto Grenier, and then the Tech Rod is Proto Infested. Yeah. The Scaldra Exterminate almost always has Scaldra and has Tech Rod involved, so you do get two factions to fight there. It's kind of a fun time. And the map layouts for Holvania is, personally, I really like. The mixing of factions in the game, or in a mission type, is pretty fun to play, honestly. Where I would say this can be very overwhelming for some players. I mean, for me, it's fine, but I can honestly say that for some players, I could see them getting highly overwhelmed with the amount of Eximus. Where under normal circumstances, after they've fixed the Eximus spawn, The Eximus spawning in Hulvania is on purpose. When the Eximus were spawning everywhere, it was crazy. Like, I mean, I went from like fucking 3,100 Riven Slivers to like 4,900 Riven Slivers in the period where the Eximus spawns were crazy because there were so many spawning everywhere. But they're supposed to do that here. There's supposed to be a lot of Eximus. So I'm sorry, I have like an eyelash or something. So anything that we're normally used to where you're not usually supposed to see any more than about 3 or 4 Eximus at a time, just quintuple that, because that's what can happen in Hulvania. You can literally have 15 Eximus attacking you at once. And that gets especially problematic when you get a mix of like Jade Eximus and Arctic Eximus, because you get slowed down by this odd invisible aura that the Arctic Eximus have, which I still think is stupid. If you're not inside of the giant cold bubble of the Arctic Eximus, I don't understand why there's a slow mechanic. Even with frames that have status immunity, like with Overguard, or if Lavos has his energy aura passive going, you're still slowed down. So it's like nothing stops that aura. It's really annoying. And so when you get like 10 of those bastards attacking you at once during wintertime, it's a real motherfucker to try to move around. Couple that with getting bombarded with Jade Eximus, where you can't move very fucking fast from the Arctic Eximus, you can get fucked up real quick. So I can see how people are getting overwhelmed by some of that crap. It's what is going on in Hulvania right now. Get that eyelash out and then drop that bitch right on my glasses. So, but that's neither here nor there. Now, we got some additions, though. We got Hell Scrubs. Now, these I am a fucking fan of. Regular survival missions, right? Like, regular survival missions are pretty easy to get through. A Hell Scrub, on the other hand, is a constant... Basically, a Hell Scrubber is just a life support pod. But instead of just being this static life support pod of here, you got a bunch of these motherfuckers all over the place, you really got to stay on top of these things.
New alert marked on navigation.
Thanks, Lotus. You get, basically these Hell Scrubbers that any of them that you're close to that you haven't activated yet can become infested with spores. And if you don't take care of them, the big spidery looking motherfucker shows up and he's like this giant ball of damage attenuation, basically a bullet sponge that you have to sit there and shoot the fuck out of in order to kill the bastard, and he will spawn wherever the fuck you move to. So don't think that he's going to spawn behind you and you're safe. That is absolutely not the case. So it makes it a little bit more fun, makes it more interactive. Also very good for doing some of the calendar missions, which we will talk about. So you've got a Scaldra one and you have a Tekrot one. Very cool. We have the excuse me, the H09 tank, which you can do the big boy version that I shared the version of before. And then you have the Legicide Harvest, which is the endless capture. So you basically, follow fucking Kalimos around, kill a bunch of enemies around the motherfucker, feed Kalimos in case he gets fucked up, and then catch the Legicide and rinse and repeat, or you can just leave. The negative. Face off. This shit was basically DOA as soon as it let go. It is just as crappy as the Conclave. Some people are enjoying it, and that's fine. And please, if you're enjoying it, don't take my word as me just knocking your dick in the dirt or something like that. It's absolutely not the case. But the truth of it is that it has opened up the toxicity of Conclave all over again, for one. So anybody that isn't performing to the standards of anybody else automatically just gets shit on in the game chat. And the objectives, I mean, albeit they've ramped it down a little bit with with the Lavos Prime Access release, they ramped it down to where the other team, when you're doing just a single play, isn't quite speeding through the mission as much and just fucking your day up. It's just crappy. Like, it's not worth the rewards that they're given, so it's just like, whatever. So yeah, unfortunately, Face Off, not so good. It is what it is. Yeah. So we got the introduction of Tekrot safes. Okay. Now, these are going to come into play with the Technocyte Coda. Right now, you just get a treasure and you get an arcane from them. As far as I know, you're going to get the Coda, which is basically just the infested code to unlock a lich, or, the infested liches and so on. they're marked by like a pinky purple, I guess. I don't really know what the fuck color that is. Puce. I don't fucking know colors, man. But you get kind of this pink, marker when you're doing like the exterminates, or when you're doing the hell scrubs or things like that, or even when you're doing the H09 tank, which, the tank's really good about getting arcanes anyway. But as far as I know, you're going to be able to get the arcane plus the coda instead of the hex treasure right now. Which, that's another thing, the hex treasure in itself. It's just basically a way to get quick syndicate standings as you're going through the mission. Truthfully, you're looking for the pizza and the Happy Meal, because everything else is 750. The pizza's like 2,000, the Happy Meal's like 1,500 or 1,000. So everything else is just kind of like, wow, I got a whole bunch of these. Whoop-de-doo. I can spend them all and still not hit my rank cap, but whatever. So we went over the new missions. New Frame released, obviously, I already did a video for it. Side 09 with the Recon effects and the Vesper 77. Honestly, with the Nora release, I'm really surprised that they gave us an AX52 augment mod instead of a Recon effects mod. Truthfully, I would have really much rather seen a Recon effects mod, because the Recon effects does need Jesus a little bit, to where the AX52 is a pretty damn solid weapon all on its own. So I'm a little confused with that one. The Vesper 77, I'm actually very close to getting that one. Well, I say very close. I'm like a rank and a half off. Or almost 2 full ranks at this point. But the Vesper one, it seems pretty interesting, popping gas clouds on fuckers' heads because you want to shoot people in the face with that gun anyway, so I'm kind of interested in that one. We also got the Atomic Cycles. So for that, there's no point even going there. The Atomic Cycles are just a bike. Now, the beauty is that the Atomic Cycles, you can, thankfully, because of a bug, and DE being DE, they're now allowing us to basically pop the Atomic Cycle in everything but Arcwing missions. Which, for anyone who got to enjoy a moment of Atomic Cycle Arcwing play, that was silly shit. I got it one day. I had just come back into town. One damn day. So, is what it is. So yeah, there's that. But Atomic Cycle's pretty good. They're actually pretty punchy for what they are, so it's not a bad time. Deliveries for them is just the appearance. Don't get tripped out if you're just riding a normal one. They all do the same shit. So there we are. We obviously got the Trinity and Nyx reworks, which were, they hinted to the fact that they were going to be doing Trinity and Nyx. I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't kind of touch up Volt a little bit. Mag's fine where she is. But I am kind of considering, Trinity and Nyx are both part of the Hex. I'm actually a little surprised they didn't touch up Volt, especially with like the dramatic difference of his 2 compared to the rest of his kit. At least maybe adding duration or changing the statistics of it or something. But it's fine. Like, Volt's fine where he's at. So I'm really not upset with it either. I was just kind of surprised. But the Trinity and Nyx rework, they weren't like overwhelmingly crazy, but very good for what they are. Made both the frames just better. Like, I've been playing Nyx a little bit more, but actually been playing Trinity a lot more, and my Trinity build's pretty damn good. Now, one of the negative boons that we got here, probably the best way to put this, because most people would think that a new enemy type is just another one to learn how to fight. This one is a fucking annoying son of a bitch, though. We got the Infested Ancients. So specifically, we got the Protector Ancients. These motherfuckers are a pain in the dick. Okay? So the Infested Healers are now just healing instead of giving Overguard. The Infested toxin ancients are doing exactly what they were doing before. The ancient disruptors doing exactly what they were doing before, and now we have these dumbass protector ancients, which are doing what the ancient healers were doing before, but there's more of a problem to it now. So prior to, the ancient healers would just pulse a little bit and give Overguard to any of the enemies nearby, and it would just kind of diminish if they got away from the motherfucker. And if you killed the bastard, wouldn't take much to mop everything up. Now, if I remember correctly, there's like a 10-second timer. And it gets re-upped whenever the Protector Ancient pulses. So, So it resets the 10-second timer and it pulses, I think, 3 or 4 times. So it basically resets it. And it's like about a 2-second delay between pulses, or about a second delay. So there's about a 14-second run on here. And the problem that I find with them is that once you start getting into a deeper mission run involving, these stupid protector ancients, which are also involved with the Orican, by the way, these dickheads will literally overlap with each other and basically just give infinite overguard to everything around them. And it's one of those, like, unless you're running pure magnetic builds constantly, you're just you're just bullet sponging the fuck out of these pricks trying to chip away at their fucking overguard. And they end up re-upping the overguard even more. So it's just like, yeah, thanks for that. Thanks. So it kind of breaks your head on what the fuck they were thinking with how they mathed out how these things are working. Like, I personally would have thought, you're not going to have overlapping overguard buffing going on with enemies, but I mean, here we are. It's pretty much, it's kind of, in a sense, killing CC play, like it really is. Cause like, overguard stops CC function, and that's fine to a point to where people can't just automate their way through the game. But there are some CC frames that are really fun to play, and they're pretty much fucking useless once these dickheads show up, because everything's just overguarded infinitely until you kill off the protector. And even then, you still got to kill off all the pricks that have got all the overguard, because it didn't fucking go away because all the other ones are buffing it. So yeah, so the ancient protectors are very annoying. What they've done with the other ones, I'm totally fine with. It's fine. So obviously, like I alluded to a little bit ago, we got the new dating sim or Kim system, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It was supposed to be optional, obviously wasn't. Like I said, once you get to the like status, you really do not have to do shit with it if you don't want to, unless you want to get the whole New Year's kiss thing. That's about it. Really. I mean, it's no big deal. It's a fun little thing if you want to do it. If you don't, nobody's twisting your arm once you get past liked. Once you get to the like status, you don't have to go any further than that, unless all of a sudden they just change the prereqs to where you have to be best friends with everybody, and then you'll just have to max out your standing with individuals. But I don't see them doing that. We got the Gemini skins. That was a nice little addition, albeit the Gemini skins are a bit of a pain in the ass. There is a problem with the Gemini skins. Okay, so let's just use Owie, right? So this is obviously the Mag Heirloom skin. That's not what I was looking for. This is Owie, right? So the Gemini skins are very cool. You can see the mix of Mag and then Owie, so that's great. The problem is that if you prefer, first of all, there are voice lines. Now, yes, you can turn this shit off, thank God, because it is annoying. Not even gonna lie, it is definitely annoying to walk through and all of a sudden you've got a Hex member talking shit in the game. Thankfully, like I said, you can turn it off if you don't want to hear that shit. Wow, literally all the customizations are all DE. That's a first for me. But if you just want to be in the middle of a mission and you want to pop Owie's Gemini skin out just for the fuck of it, man, there is a hell of an animation delay that you can do nothing about. So that being said, it is a bit of a problem. So you either want to run the Gemini skin as it is, or you want to run the normal frame and just don't. Because I've gotten myself killed a couple of times and had to res myself with Last Gasp, simply on the basis of I was changing over Gemini skins just to be a smart ass in the game, and I got a bullet in my ass for it because I was standing there, and yeah, they're cool looking, but I really wish that would just be kind of more of a blink, here we go, we're doing our thing. For anybody who likes the, Wormy or, any of the little side games, there is the Caliber Chick game. It's kind of a fun little Contra knockoff, but, that's neither here nor there. If you want to play it, it's in Amir's arcade in the very back of the room. It's kind of a fun little goofy thing to play, honestly. It's nothing crazy. Good stuff. Quality of life stuff for especially new players. A couple of things. I'll say 2 things are good. One, I'm a little about. So weapon and frames slots both got an increase. I want to say it's from 8 to 11 on weapon slots, and I think it's 2 more frame slots. That is good. That is very, very good for new players. I'm totally down with that. There's some people that'll gripe about, oh man, we had to fight through this and spend plat for that. So what? So what? I would much rather have new players coming into this game, learning the game, mucking things up a little bit. Who cares? That's how we all learn how to play this game to begin with anyway, right? The thing I don't necessarily like is, and I will explain why, okay? The mastery test timer. Now, I am totally fine all the way up until like mastery 25, okay? Cutting that timer down to non-existent. Don't worry about practicing that motherfucker. Just play. If you fail, just come back, try it again. There's a reason, okay? So I want to say it's mastery 24 or 25. That is actually, as far as XP is concerned, roughly the halfway point to getting to where the game is capped off right now, which is this. So once Technosite Coda releases, wunderbar, I'm going to be Legendary 5. Now, any of the founders are sitting right at the cusp of Legendary 5 and quite happy about it, I'm sure, and that's fine. But, I mean, we're talking, 3 Coda weapons, and I'm going to be over the cap, so totally fine with this. The reason that I say 24, 25 is because that's halfway through the game, okay? As far as XP is concerned, because the XP just gets exponentially higher as you go. So, if I remember right, it's like 147,500 XP to get from Legendary, or no, it was 148,500, if I remember correctly, to get from Legendary 3 to Legendary 4. It is nowhere near that, obviously, down at Mastery 24, right? So, as far as the number goes, like one would think, oh, it's only like, Mastery 17. No, by number, that's the halfway point, not by XP. By the time you get to Mastery 24, you should be able to, practice the test, figure out the mechanics of the test, and then do the test and know your loadouts at that point. The reason why I bring this up, and this isn't me being some, Legendary 4 egotistical prick, is that by speeding up and taking away the timers of the mastery ranks, you run into the problem of people not having a full understanding of the game, and then them just basically doing the test over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, which you would do with practice anyway, learning better ways to play. But you would also hope that you're not speeding them through the game to where they're not learning the basis of the game as much. That, and honestly, if you let people just fly through the game on mastery rank, first of all, you're going to have people that are playing higher level content that may not necessarily be prepped for it, for one, and that's how you run people off, because they get frustrated and they just rage quit out of the game, and you don't want that. Issue number 2 is, I mean, truth be told, it's like once you get to that point, this is where you start soaking in the lore of the game. You really start to kind of find an appreciation as you're going through, and doing these tests. Those tests were like the benchmarks of, okay, now you can do this next quest. Now you can do this next quest. Well, it's like there's people that now can, in 2 days' time, be doing the sacrifice. It seems insane, but it's entirely possible. Yes, I mean, there's some plat buying involved there to get to those mastery ranks, so on and so forth, but it's entirely possible that somebody playing for 2 to 3 days can be all the way up into the sacrifice or beyond in the quest line now. And in that period of time, there is no possibility that anybody is really truly soaking in the lore of the game. And that in itself is half of the beauty of this game, is the story of this game. Yes, the gameplay is obviously the other half, but I'm not going to knock anybody who just wants to breeze through, hit a cap point and say, okay, I'm going to move on. There are plenty of players that do that. But one would hope that that would not necessarily be the case. So it's up and down. Like I'm part of me says it's great that there's no timer to mastery tests, because that just means, okay, well, I don't have to sit there and practice and figure out what works and what doesn't. You just fucking jump in. If you fail, you don't have to kick yourself in the ass. It's fine. So obviously the new Hex Syndicate. So like I said, we have Arthur, we have Eleanor, the twins, we have Aoi, we have Amir, we have Quincy, we have Letitia or Letty. So basically Excalibur, Nyx, Mag, Volt, Side 09, and Trinity. And there are more coming. Or more, as far as I heard. We don't know who they are yet, but that is interesting. I am down for that. Truth be told, okay, like I'm gonna be honest here, okay. As far as who I hope to see coming, I hope it's some old school frames. Loki, that'd be cool. An Invis fucking proto frame would be badass. Another one, I know this sounds nuts, Oberon, because if they're gonna throw Oberon in there, I would bet a rework will be coming with that motherfucker. Banshee would be an interesting one because again, probably get a rework. And considering there's already going to be an Invis frame, I doubt Ash will be in there. Albeit either Loki or Ash would be a good one. Maybe Ember. Ember would be a very, very interesting one. Or Frost. Hell, Nova. That'd be another. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Somebody playing with antimatter back then with uncontrolled abilities. Yeah. I think any of those would be good options. Why I just did that, but here we are. So there's that. Right, there's that. The Hex Syndicate is interesting. Their personalities are funny as hell. And they are a trip to learn. Okay, they really are. So we, with Quincy specifically, whenever you go visit Quincy at Hulvania, Quincy does have, I want to say it's 2 new simulacrums. So if you're interested in the higher level simulacrums, they're Hulvania based. One's in the busted up, fucked up looking mall area, and the other one's above ground. So they're pretty cool looking. You know, but yeah, if you're looking for those new sims, that's where they are. The 1999 calendar seasonal missions, that's an interesting one. Because the reward system behind them is actually pretty damn good. It's not amazing. I mean, obviously, as you can see, mine is finished. But basically, you know, kill 150 enemies with abilities. Your reward for that is a shard or an arcane. And then you get a buff. Now, this buff, as far as I know, lasts the entire year cycle. Then you get another one. Kill a whopping 10 Eximus, and guess what? Your reward for that is Forma or an Arcane. So if your Arcane farming is going to crap and you don't feel like running a shit ton of bounties to, well, I say a shit ton, about 7 or 8 Steel Path bounties and you're max standing for the day, but if you don't want to just constantly be running bounties and your Hex treasure farming isn't working out great, it's a pretty easy way to get this stuff, you know? I mean, the next one is kill 150 Sculptor Troops with enemies. Cool. Your reward for that is an Arcane Catalyst or 2 Arcanes. You know? Kill 200 Tech Rot with a melee weapon. Cool. Oh yeah, there's the pay. So you do that, and then you get to another buff, and then you get to a person's birthday, which is a good time. And then your bonus for that is an Exilius or an Auraforma, which these are about to become Omniforma. I mean, like the Omniforma in general sound like a cool idea. That hasn't hit yet, so we're not going to talk about it until we see exactly what that actually turns into. You know, break 300 containers. This one's fucking annoying as shit. You would think it isn't, but it is. But your bonus for that is you get some Phosphor. Cool for getting Arcanes or dual Arcanes. And then the final one for this one is kill 500 Tech Rot. They're meat bags. They're not hard. And you can get a Riven mod or an Arcane, and you get one more buff. So the calendar missions in themselves, they're not hard. You can blast through them on the Steel Path as long as you got some good builds. And very, very well worth it because, like, you know, you can get Archon shards in here and the whole shebang. So it's a good time. New resources added. Now, that in itself, I was a little irritated with the resources once I realized how little they were being fucking used, okay? I can't be the only person that feels that, okay? I just cannot be the only person that feels that. But, thankfully, they added some of these bitches. Fervon samples, Entrati Obols, experimental arc relays. You get the fucking gist. Hulvania Pitchweave Fragment. Yeah, they added some of this shit in here, which is fucking great. Necrocoils. It's been needed for a moment, okay? Really has been needed for a damn moment. Sagging Pearls from Duviri, I'm glad, you know, like those got added a little while ago. Stella, like there's a lot of people that were complaining about picking up Stella, as you see. You know, I haven't had a problem getting it. Tech-Rot Motherboard, that's another one, like it's a rare one, and like the number, Oh, I get it. The number that they require on some of this stuff is a little high, but I mean, if you're a grinder, it's not going to be a problem. You know, so I mean, it's good to see that some of these new resources have actually been added into Helmet because they're fucking useless once you get past the Vesper and the Reconifex and Side 09. They just really, they're fucking absolutely useless as shit. Sorry. So, like I said, Face Off. Truth be told, at this point, Face Off is an absolute fucking nuisance. That's just my personal opinion. I think Face Off is just 100% a goddamn nuisance. If you're enjoying it, have fun with it, man. To me, Face Off is no better than Conclave at this point, because Conclave is the epitome of toxicity, and it's really the major toxicity of this game. Because Eidolon hunting is pretty much dead, except for a very core group of people. So, with that being said, the only other place the toxicity really was prevalent and heavy in the game was Conclave. And Conclave was pretty much dead, and Face Off has just brought out the Conclave players, and sad truth is that there are some pretty negative Nancy motherfuckers in there. Trying not to be rude because I love the Warframe community, I really do, but man, God, when you get into competitive crap, holy Jesus Christ, people are, man, they get pissy. So, the next thing, Rhino Heirloom. Rhino Heirloom. My God, boy, he turned into a chunky monkey. Holy Jesus Christ. Rhino turned into a big boy. Turned in, I mean, damn. He's a lumpkin. Okay? Let's just go for his base setup here. Giant collar looking like fucking Olive V and shit. Yeah, I don't know why I just did that, because I'm fucking stupid. Boom. I mean, there's Rhino Heirloom right there. Chunky monkey. Good lordy. Whew. Hey, big boy. That's all right, though, because we got that. I don't think it looks too bad. The thing that I do have a little... Here's the hiccup, okay? So now we can change the iron skin. Okay. Can we... I forgot. So we have normal iron skin, quick look. We have primed iron skin, quick look. We have the paladin iron skin, quick look. And then we got this bullshit. And I mean to tell you, that's some intrusive fucking shit while you're playing the game. Big black fucking ring just floating the fuck about you while you got iron skin. It is annoying as fucking shit. Now, I understand it's probably based off of one of these two color choices. If it was the blue, like if it was the emissive or the energy, I wouldn't have near as much of a problem with it. But I have a feeling it's because I have black chosen and these rings are the iron skin ring. So... yeah, so like I've just been using the Palatine because truthfully I think it is far better than that bullshit fucking, yeah, the heirloom iron ring. It is rough sledding. Overall, I actually dig the look. Old Chunky Monkey here is looking good. The Signet actually looks pretty cool on him. I just hate the iron skin. That's it. The little rings of, you know, Stargate rings of death. It is what it is. It's fine. We got the release of Nora's Mix Volume 8. As you can see, I am rank 11. So close. So close yet so far to leaded gas. I really want to get this fucking mod. Now, like I said, the other one is biotic rounds. Like here, let's just look. Okay, because some of this crap I already had. So, obviously, you get a bunch of Nora cred, and then you get the Big Bites Pizza Sigil, Nightwave ship if you didn't have it, an Excellus weapon adapter, cool, a Tommy Cycle livery, so you don't have to spend plat to get something different. I mean, this one does look pretty cool. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it actually does look pretty damn cool. So, no knock on that one at all. Pretty neat. You get some more Nora cred, you get a polearm skin if you really want it. You get both the Caliber Chick Floofs, plus a couple of weapon slots, more cred, 3 Forma, an augment mod, Arcane Rage, not a bad one to have at all, even at only because that'll give you a rank 1 if you don't have it. The new Battlecry ink is basically just, it's camo. More Nora cred. We get a Voltor Crew Bro armor. Kind of looks pretty solid, honestly. It doesn't look bad. Some nice chrome bits to it. We get this the origami glyph. It's okay. A Warframe slot. We get a Riven cipher. That one's an interesting one getting thrown in there. I'm okay with that. More Nora cred. You get a Sagacha that looks like, I can't remember what the hell the name of those little pet things were on the keychains, man. I remember them motherfuckers were banging off, but having that as Sagacha is a little silly. The Proto Necromech skin is a good looking skin for the Necromech. Hey, guess what? More Nora cred. And then Biotic rounds. I truthfully wish that this would have been for the Recon effects. Bruh. This would have been perfect for the Recon effects, but whatever. The Stance Forma. That one I'm stuck on, because if we're going to be going to the Omni Forma, I don't understand why Stance Forma or Aura Forma is still existing in this list. The Glacius Indana. The Wire Matrix Ephemera. You can kind of see the little, like, Tron lines going over. I am down with this one. This shit is probably going to go on, like, mag. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Somebody's getting this motherfucking ephemera, because this bitch looks cool. Then, obviously, the Umbra Forma. And then, I'm a little torn on this one. Okay, the final payout before you just start cycling into 15 Nora credit every rank is the Tekrot Armor Bundle. This, I'm gonna be honest, this shit looks intrusive as fuck. I mean, like, throwing this shit on Nidus, I could see that. I could 100% see that. But, just for going for some sort of a continuity appearance. I am so sorry. I'm yawning my ass off. But I mean, rolling around with a radio and speakers on your legs and a motherfucking TV and, and then tore up VHS tapes on your shoulders and shit. I know some of you kids don't even know about that VHS life. sound like an old goat. But yeah, so I mean, the Nightwave bit, not bad. It's not terrible. Okay. Not much left. Stardays is up and running at this present moment. Let's see, how much time do we got left on Stardays? We have 14 days, 7 hours.
It will be marked on navigation.
There's some good shit in there. specifically something like the Snipertron. Okay, and then them stupid ass wings that people love having. And man, if you want them damn wings, go get the wings. It's just dead pawns. Okay, so you might have to run some bounties. But the Snipertron, it's an event-only weapon, okay? Belly of the Beast, Operation Belly of the Beast. As of me posting this, which this will post on the 20th, there will be 10 days left. So do not skimp on getting some of this shit done. This is a very, very good arcane farm. Doesn't take very long to run the missions, and you can very, very quickly collect motes, especially if you're doing Steel Path. Yes, there's a lot of Jade Eximus. It's a 3-stage mission. It's like a mobile defense, and then an elevator, and then, well, it's like a defense, and then an elevator ride, and just feeding this big pod thing, basically, Jade batteries. And then it's an actual literal mobile defense type mission where you're guarding an egg. If you're in it just to fucking get the hell done, don't let the egg get taken out. If you let the egg get taken out, you get some Riven slivers out of it too. It's a lot of Eximus. But it's a very, very, very good arcane farm that will save you from having to do Eidolons. So, yeah, this is, albeit people were bitching about it when it first ran because the Ascension mission is, annoying as hell. Operation Belly of the Beast, not bad. Hello? Alright, and then we got, obviously, I just posted a video about it, we just got the Lavos Prime release. Now, obviously, I'm not running anything other than Lavos. And yes, I was fucking around with another build that I didn't even show. I've been running. It's a Valence Formation Swift Bite build. And guess what? Arcane Impetus is in here because, unique status effects from abilities grant 6% ability strength and 3% efficiency for 20 seconds. It's a pretty damn good one to run on Lavos, I'll tell you that. Arcane Ice Storm fits perfectly with the second ability because I don't like subsuming shit onto Lavos anyway. So, yeah, freeze a bunch of motherfuckers and you get strength and ability duration, both good for Lavos. So, yeah, very, very, very survivable and fun build, by the way. But yeah, that's what I've been running lately. So, but like I said in the Lavos video, Lavos Prime himself got a wonderful cosmetic buff and a bullshit overall buff. It's okay because Lavos, in my opinion, was pretty solid as he was. But yeah, his Prime version definitely looks pretty damn cool. Two more things. I could stop yawning. Jesus Christ. Two more things and we're done. One specific ribbon got changed. And it irritates the shit out of me, okay? Because they don't do this with any of the other battery-powered weapons. Whatever. The Grimoire. They changed their Grimoire completely. Unless you own a Grimoire ribbon that has a negative magazine capacity, the negative mag cap was removed from the roll cycle for the Grimoire. Now, when you're rolling ribbons, just if you don't know, you're always looking for a harmless negative, because as long as you have a negative on your ribbon, something that negatively impacts the function of a weapon, so even if you like get positive recoil or negative magazine capacity or, a negative to a certain faction or anything of the sort, right? If you get a harmless negative, it actually gives boosted stats to the positives. Okay, so the stuff that positively impacts a weapon gets bumped up even more because you're willing to take a negative to do it. Now, the Cycron doesn't have this negative. The Bubonico doesn't have, ammo, overall ammo efficiency, or I'm sorry, not ammo efficiency, ammo max. The Cycron doesn't have an ammo max, but those are still left in the roll. The Basmu doesn't have an ammo max because it's another one of those battery ones. The Nataruk doesn't have, a mag or an ammo max because it's infinite, but yet they're still in the roll. Why fuck with the Grimoire? That's an extreme bonus to get a minus ammo max or magazine capacity. That's a very good negative to take on a weapon that's not going to affect the weapon. Other weapons are allowed to do it. Why are they fucking with this one specifically, other than it's popular? Don't know what to tell you. I don't think it makes sense, but it sucks. It's whatever. The final thing. This is a thank fuck moment. Okay? So when you are going through, forget if it's actually called the same thing or not. Or can I? So there are two things that you can do to find rare items on a map. Okay, one is to have this, which comes from the parallax. So you can apply this as your air support and then use air support drops and find extra hidden goodies in a map. Or you can use an ability called Golden Instinct that you can use through Helmet and subsume it onto a frame. Truthfully, Orokanai is so much better, and the parallax is very easy to farm on the Zariman, so it's really not a big deal. They have added the Tekrot safe keys into the highlighted thing for hidden treasures. So basically, once you see the little icon pop up for the Tekrot safe, run over to that motherfucker, drop Orokanai, because it is a guarantee that thing will not be further than 150 meters away, because just like Cephalon Melica, they're all 100 meters or less. Okay, so if you drop Orokanai at that safe, you won't have to go around looking for that motherfucker. It will literally just pop up as one of the goody treasures. I am so glad that was implemented. And this is a rough overview of things that have changed, because the truth of it is there's actually more that I haven't even talked about. This is what's been the Warframe 1999, Rhino Heirloom, and Lavos Prime Access release. So this is like December into mid-February. That is a lot of shit, and I haven't even touched everything. Like, there's been a bunch of quality of life stuff, a bunch of bug fixes. They still haven't fixed the one that's cracking me the fuck up. Okay, is the Tenet Galaxian. Somebody go use the Tenet Galaxian. Test me on this. Look what your fire accuracy is at the end of the mission. You could hit every single enemy, not miss a single motherfucker that you're shooting at. It's always 0. I don't know why they haven't fixed that bug yet, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. Overall, the Warframe 1999 update, aside from a couple of what the fuck things, this has been a solid update. And we still have the Technosite Coda coming. So, I'll try to do another video in regards to the Technosite Coda and the Coda weapons and stuff as we get further into this and see what other changes are coming, like the new Hex members. If there's any further changes to that particular setup, I'm very interested in this stuff. This is positive fucking game development, man. This is why I don't get burnt out on Warframe. So anyway, folks, I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, catch you in the next one, all right?